Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast for another night, and thank you for helping Midnight Broadcast reach 3,000 subscribers. Tonight we have two short Greentext from an anon who keeps moving into haunted homes. I present to you a black mice and haunting.
Here's some OC I've shared before. Every time I share it, bastards call me crazy, so I will state at the beginning for the illiterate, multiple witnesses experience the haunting in the same apartment. Because of my experience, I have a phobia of pitch black space. I have an instant fear of any space that is pitch black, like closets, doorways, etc. Be me. Be 16. Dad, stepmom and stepbro live in an apartment together. Guy we bought house from casually mentioned rabbi died in hallway in front of my bedroom door. Lovely. At night lying in bed trying to sleep. Hear voices from the hallway. Calming noise, actually like chatter at a large party where you can't pick up what people are saying, it's just human words as noise. Soothing noise. Suddenly realize the noise is coming from a hallway that is upstairs with a large staircase, so the voices would have to be hanging in the air above the staircase. Well, that's odd.jpg. Chalk it up to overactive imagination. That happens every single night. Be in deep denial about paranormal encounters to the point looking back, I think something was smothering any thoughts to be wary and view things as real, so I could not get help. While lying in bed drifting off, voices stop. In corner of room see a giant black ball of deep blackness 10 feet tall and wide with writhing smoke tentacles that circle it. See that in the corner of room every single night when I try to sleep. Filled with overwhelming fear and sense a gleeful evil from this thing, the more fear I feel. The more I try to calm myself and tell myself it's my imagination, it seems to sense my attempts and amps up the fear. Forces images of monsters into my mind. The images are obviously made up and like cardboard cutouts, flat and don't move. Nothing compared to the highly detailed black mass I see. Convince self it is not real because the acceptance of it as a reality would be too much. Few weeks later. Father frantically starts cleansing the home every 2 weeks with burning sage. His eyes are wide. On his face is fear. This is a man who doesn't fear hardly anything. Everyone is acting on edge. People snap at each other and get angry easily. Stepmother jokes about a haunting, then looks around in fear. Pomeranian shithead dog growls at a corner in the living room. Eventually tell Dad I hear voices. Get therapist who gives me drugs. Drugs stop voices, but I still see shadow thing every single night in exact same spot. Don't tell Dad about it because scared drugs might lessen ability to see it, but not its effects on me. A monster you can see is better that way than an invisible thing that feeds on fear. Live in house for 2 years. Fall into deep depression during that time. Emotions very muted, like brain is in a fog 24/7. Insomnia constantly. Obsess with comedy shows and stay up late watching things that make me laugh. Stepmom starts emotional abuse, so stay in room when not at school. Only leave room for food, bathroom, and water. Thing only appears specifically when lying in bed trying to sleep, so sleep little as possible and convince self it is just my imagination. More detailed than anything I've ever imagined and clear as day and vivid. Just my imagination. Stepbrother I think knows something is off with me. Always looks at me wide-eyed like I'm going to bite him. Be weirdo already, so weirdo with no emotion in voice or facial expressions was probably creepy 1,000-fold. Dad and stepmom can't take whatever it is doing to cause them to be on edge all the time. They never told me what it did to them. What they saw in their bedroom at night. They move us all out to a house. Dad tells me years later a very legitimate psychic friend of the family said the sage didn't work because the entity could move into the neighbor's apartment, wait 2 weeks for the sage to wear off, then came back. The lady somehow knew without ever visiting the property it did exactly that and always came back after 2 weeks. Sage was burned. Years later watch Dead Files. Holy shit, they describe a thing exactly like what I saw. Holy shit, I didn't imagine it. Psychic on show says thing is like a pre-shadow man before it turns into a full shadow man. The tornado of darkness feeds on different negative emotions, but each one feeds on one specific emotion type. Realize mine fed on fear. The thing causes auditory hallucinations, like the voices. It causes visual hallucinations, like the obviously fake monsters. It can force people to feel emotions like fear. Like how I fought off fear that built the more I fought every single night. Be puzzled looking back and wonder why I didn't try to get help and was so convinced while there it wasn't real. Now convinced the thing messed with my mind to convince me no matter what it was fake. Because you don't need to ask for help if your experience is just all in your head. Then you're left as the perfect helpless prey. This one is a mild haunting, more just annoying. Same anon. Here's another story that happened 3 years ago. Be me. Be an apartment I suspect is haunted because of creepy feeling something is in closet. Always feel like something is peering out of it, watching me. Always keep closet door closed. Best part is the same wall connects to the shower wall and I feel watched while showering. Fucking perv demons.pdf. Ignore feeling and never look at closet too long or stare at it because of horror movie logic that maybe as long as I ignore it and convince it I don't see it, maybe it will keep activity low. One night be sleeping in bed next to GF. Get woken up by GF making noise in sleep. Groggy and hear her sound like she is trying to yell with her lips sealed and shaking me with her shoulder from her squirming in place. Realize she is having a night terror which I recognize quickly because my dad suffered from them his entire life. Shake her and say her name loudly. She is shook up and scared, says she felt like something invisible was holding her down. First and only night terror of her life. She always asks to sleep on side of bed furthest from closet and says whenever she sleeps on that side she has bad nightmares. Feel bad for her but don't tell her about thing because I don't want it to overhear us and know we are disturbed by it. Start having dreams of me floating above our bed wrestling and punching a man-shaped thing made out of black smoke. Thing gets upper hand. Start shouting Jesus' name and praying. It recoils. Nightmare repeats few weeks later. This time when thing starts winning I start praying and calling for Jesus again. Stumble prayer and lose train of thought. Make mistake of feeling pride in my power instead of give credit to God and start feeling pride I am making it leave. As soon as I feel that and my words fumble it lunges at me in dream. Smoke enters my body. Now I don't sense it in closet when awake. Fuck. Activity has stopped but now my anger issues have gotten worse. For some reason have to force self to read Bible, even quotes, feel reluctance and emotion it is boring or thought I don't want to even finish reading Bible quotes when I've always loved the Bible and God. Pretty sure possessed by asshole ghost, possibly demon. About to go to church for the first time in 5 years next week and moving out this year. Hoping leaving property will break bond to ghost or rejoining a church will get it to fuck off. You'll see my thread asking for exorcism help later if it fails.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.